Hello and welcome to Camp Xbox, where we talk about all things Xbox from the original to the Series X. And on today's agenda is a review of Sega GT 2002. Released on September 2nd, 2002 in North America, Sega GT 2002 is a sequel to Sega GT, released on the Sega Dreamcast. This sequel was actually planned for and developed for release on the Sega Dreamcast originally, but with the demise of the console, this project was moved over to Microsoft's Xbox console, which Sega actually did a lot of partnerships in the first years of Xbox, with actually the reverse side of my copy of Sega GT 2002 is Jet Set Radio Future, which I am excited to cover at some point on this channel. And I know we have already covered quite a few racing games here on Camp Xbox because I love racing games, and why I picked Sega GT and why it stands out amongst something like Project Gotham Racing is that it is a simulation racer. So instead of an arcadey style handling and fast-paced pick-up-and-play nature, Sega GT tried to create a realistic driving experience. Cars are going to handle a little stiffer. A sense of speed won't be insane. You won't see wind whipping around you. It'll feel like a normal car, and it has a heavy focus on car maintenance. And I do have a place in my heart for both simulation and arcade style racing, but I do have a little bit of a bias towards arcade racers. Yet I believe simulation style racing games can be an amazing, engrossing experience. And at first, I was really enjoying the experience of Sega GT 2002. You have your normal time trial and quick racing modes if you just need a quick fix around the track. But the pinnacle of the racing game modes here is its simulation mode. In this mode, you must spend money to get a car, and then you go do races to earn more money to fix up and upgrade your car, or you can sell your car and get a new one. It's here that I realized this game has an amazing selection of cars. The models all look really nice for the Xbox, and when you drive them out there, they all look great, especially in the sunlight when they're all shiny and you drift around corners. It really is a lovely looking game. And with its huge selection of models, I really think that anybody that picks up this game will find a car that they really like. And of course, just like in real life, some cars are going to handle better than others, and some are going to go up to higher speeds than others. But I really like that there is in-depth car parts system, and you use this to upgrade your car. And it's wild to me, in this game, there's actually a used parts store, so you can upgrade your car at a discount, but it can definitely go wrong because I cheaped out, bought some used parts, and I actually had my car break down in the middle of the race. And I think that's part of the fun of a simulation racer, just fun little touches like this. But unfortunately, after a little bit of playing this game, I found myself growing a bit tired of it. It's still a good game overall, but something about it wasn't making me want to go back. And personally, I think it's in its track selection. For the tracks that we do have here, they're well designed. They look fairly nice, and I really love the look of cityscapes and large billboard ads along the road. It all looks really solid. Yet, there's just not a large amount of tracks. I think it's around 8 tracks, and some of them look pretty similar, and they don't really deviate from each other. So once you get a fully upgraded car or something even better, you don't really get to explore new horizons. It's more about just racing more cars on the same tracks, and I think that lack of variety in places to go made the game feel a little stale after a while. And I think with racing games, replayability is highly important. I found myself enjoying it in short bursts, but if you are looking to start it up and beat it all the way to the end, like I did, you might notice the lack of content here. But other than a lack of content, I do think there is a good game here. It does play really well, and if you enjoy something like the Gran Turismo franchise, especially the ones from the PS2, it's a lot of the same here. It feels like moving a real car, and you have to do a good job of maneuvering around the track, and it's a nice change of pace with the arcade racers that were on offer on Xbox at the time. If you really love arcade racing and you really wanted something a little more challenging, you're definitely going to get that here. Another thing that I think is great in this game is the music. Sega usually knocks it out of the park with music, but here it has this nice, easy rock vibe to it, but it also mixes in with some comforting jazz in its main menus. It's one of those games that just kind of gives you a comfy feeling. Another game mode that comes with this game that I think helps with that comfy feeling is actually Chronicle mode, which tasks you with picking out a classic car, and you actually race through different decades, racing against cars from those selected decades. And this one actually feels a bit more arcadey than any of the other modes, and I appreciate that they tried to create another game experience here. This one is really cool because the more you play, you unlock more cars, and this one has the replay value to go back to. Unfortunately, it does have the same issue of just not having enough track variety though. But I do think overall this is a pretty good package, and I would recommend this for driving simulation fans. I do think there are much better racing games on the Xbox, let alone released in the year 2002, because Rally Sport Challenge came out that year, and I do think that's a better game. But I think we got a good one here. It's not Gran Turismo for the Xbox, but it is a fun little diversion for a little bit. And maybe it's easy to pick up and play every once in a while, but you're just not going to play it constantly. And on my original Xbox ranking list, I am going to put this about in the lower mid-range games. I do think I haven't covered a lot of really awful games, so it does end up a little bit lower, but it'll be kind of mid-range as we move along. I put it above Haunted Mansion because I feel like Sega GT, I had a little bit more fun with it, but I did put Second Sight above Sega GT because I like the story in Second Sight a lot, and I find it to be a little bit more of a memorable game than Sega GT is. But if you have any memories with Sega GT, you love it, you hate it, let me know in the comments below. I love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it. Also, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, you'll get more cool reviews like this one. But I'll see you here next time at Camp Xbox.